if you're an artist who's ready to turn your art into a small, profitable business that you can grow for a long term, but you're also frustrated, you don't know where to start, I'm here to tell you, worry no more. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how to slowly transform your art into a small, profitable business that you can live off. This is my living room. 9 years ago, I turned my living room into an art studio. And ever since, I've been living off my art in this studio, creating art and selling and making money. And I'm going to show you step by step how you can do the same. Now, short story, I was out of school, in debt, frustrated, and nothing is working, nothing seems to go my way. But one thing for sure, I know how to make art. I know that I'm an artist. Making art just comes easy for me. That is the only thing that comes so easy. With my eyes closed, I can just create something, especially when it comes to playing with colors. And people just love it. So I figure, why not? I'm out of school. I'm frustrated. I'm in debt. Shout out to American Express. I was so much in debt. So I started creating art from this living room and then taking it out to the streets and sell. And it worked out. 9 years later, I'm still in business. I'm actually doing much better. I understood this business very well. So if you are getting started, if you are a beginner or an intermediate or even an advanced artist, but you haven't actually built a business on top of your art, then I'm here to break this down for you. A short breakdown that you can actually take this approach and start right away. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get your first 100 subscribers that you can build your email list with. Now, email list, for me, 9 years later now, it is probably, I would say it's probably the most important key for my business at this point. But I didn't know this 9 years ago. 9 years ago when I started, I was completely out of it. I didn't know what I was doing. If you are a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and you don't know about this approach, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna tell you what to do, and you can start with that. And I guarantee you, email can help you stay in business, because that's my whole philosophy. My whole philosophy is not about starting a business. You can start a business today, you can start a business tomorrow, but how do you stay in business? Having email list and having newsletter helps your business stay in business. So if you're just getting started, let's just dive in. A quick, or your first 100 subscribers. How would you get your first 100 subscribers so you can kind of like build your business around this 100 subscribers, this email list? One, let's start with your website. So say you have a website, you just started a business and you build a website. On the website, you can build a pop-up within that website, right? You can have a pop-up where if somebody log into your website, the pop-up is just going to pop up and just going to demand the email address. To some, that can be super aggressive. I had a pop-up on my website for a long time, but I took it off. I no longer use the pop-up. I don't have pop-up on my website. I do have an email link in my website that you can personally, like politely or friendly, click on it and to put in your email address, saying that you permitted me to have it, or on mutual respect, you're just giving me your email without me being aggressive, taking it away from you or all up in your face when you're trying to see the product on my website. But here's my pop-up, just keep popping on your face. So I took it off. So that's one of the ways that you can try to get your first 100 email quick, using your website, the pop-up. I'm not too fan of that. The second key to trying to get your first email address is going the Instagram route, right? you can DM all your followers. I'm not sure how many followers you have. If you're just getting started, nowadays it's really, really hard to actually build followers on Instagram. So let's say you're looking for 100 emails and you have 500 to 1,000 followers on IG. Your best approach is you're just gonna hit them on a DM and cordially ask them for their email. Now, I did this. On social media, on IG, people are super uncomfortable with this kind of approach. If you approach someone in their DM on Instagram and asking them to give you their email address, they find it to be uncomfortable. So that it can work, but that's not my favorite. I did that. It was funny. I also used the story. When you go to your story on Instagram and you click on those characters, there's a link there. You can create a link on your story and then ask your followers to insert the email address in there so you can have those email address and add it to your list. It's either that or you can copy your link, your actual link. I'm going to tell you about the services that I use. I'm not sure if you do have any kind of service. If you don't have a service, then I'm going to tell you my service. They're not sponsoring this video or anything. That's what I use, because when I was getting started, I didn't know any. When I did my research, I went with them, and I'm going to tell you. And so you can use them if you don't have any. So you can copy your link from whatever email services you're using. On your Instagram stories, you can put that link in there, and then you can ask your followers to give you their email address or to subscribe to your newsletter. And if they click on that link, that page will open up where they can put their first name and their email address and subscribe. That is also one of the ways that you can collect email address. So the first way to collect your email address is we're trying to get to our first 100 email address. The first one is your website pop-up. Now, if you really, really want it that bad, you have to use the pop-up, but I'm not a fan of the pop-up. The second key to collecting your first 100 emails is going the Instagram route. You can DM 100 people, or you can DM all your 500 followers, or however many followers you have. It is the most uncomfortable approach. Some will give it to you, but some will block you. It's just not comfortable. But in this situation, we're trying to get to our first 100 email list. So you can take that approach. Or on the same platform, the same Instagram, you can go to the stories, and in stories, you can just ask them to put their email address on that, on there's a window, you can ask them to put the email address there. Or you can use the link, and in that link, you copy the link from your service and then paste it into that link. So when they click it, it will open in that service. Personally, I use ConvertKit. I think it's called Kit nowadays, KIT, but it's still known as ConvertKit. If you Google it, it will come up, ConvertKit. That's what I use. When I was looking for it, I reach out to MailChimp and a few others, but at the end of the day, ConvertKit seemed to be more of something that I can go with. So I decided to go with ConvertKit. ConvertKit is cool. There's a disadvantage that I don't like about ConvertKit. So for my business, for example, as far as transaction, taking payment and all this other stuff, I use SquareUp. Right, SquareUp, they have the app on my phone. I can do Apple Pay, I can tap, I can swipe a card, I can do so many things with Square. So SquareUp. So that worked for me. One thing I love about Square, I used to use Shopify, and then Square gave me a better offer, so I left Shopify and moved to SquareUp. I like SquareUp. I'm still with them. I've been with them for years now, and Like I'm telling you, I've been in business for 9 years, right? I've been in business for 9 years. I've done business with. Hey, just want to take a short break to invite you to check out my beautiful artwork, especially if you love giving a gift that's made with love to a family member, a friend, a loved one, or even to yourself. I just want you to know that I've hand painted over 10,000 of these beautiful one-of-one limited hand painted aprons from right here in my living room studio. These beautiful aprons are not just for cooking, painting, or creating. These amazing aprons are also a form of therapy, a transformational tool for survival, and a constant reminder to you that you are also a creator. This is a masterpiece of apron that you can actually live in. So this is not just a purchase. It is an investment in your own creativity. So I encourage you to hit the link below and grab your one-of-one limited hand-painted apron. Also, while on my website, I want to invite you to check out my canvas masterpieces. And let's get back to the show. Thank you. Peace. HBO and many more, all from just creating art from this living room. So I'm telling you my experiences, what has worked for me, and what I'm trying to pass it down to you so you can use it and so you can stay in business, not just getting started in a business or just having a bunch of ideas and just thinking about it, but ways for you to stay in business. The only thing I don't like about ConvertKit is that they don't have a customer service support line. So if you sign up and you're trying to get someone to tell you, oh, click on this and then click on that and this is going to happen and now you're in, they don't have that. The only thing they have is text message and communicating with AI back and forth. And sometimes if you're just a beginner, you're just getting started, these things can be very frustrating. It can be it's like a headache. You just want to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about and who understand the platform and they can show you what to do. ConvertKit doesn't have that. That's the only thing I hate about ConvertKit. But other than that, it's great. If you're just getting started, you don't have any email services at all, and you want to get into this email thing, I highly encourage you, I highly recommend. If you're an artist, you need an email list. There's no two ways about it. Now, whether you want to go in business or you don't want to go in business, if you're creating art for the simple fact that you want to sell your art, then you need an email list. And those email lists need to go into a services where you can send your email once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week, however you want to do it. So I decided to go with ConvertKit. If you're just getting started, one of the reasons I like ConvertKit and I would tell you to go with ConvertKit is because anything below 1,000 emails is free. So, which is good for you if you're just getting started and you don't have an email list at all. And even if you do have some, it's not over 1,000 emails, which means it's a good news for you. So as long as it stays below 1,000, it's free. And you can continue to sell emails to your customers, to people that you collected their emails, and you can actually make good use of these services and continue to stay in their mind and continue to remind them that, hey, I'm still here, right? So that is the service that I use. Now, moving on to my favorite way of collecting emails, my favorite part. This is what I use. This is what I'm still using. This is what is bringing me the most of my emails. I'm getting most of my emails from this approach, this key that I'm going to tell you, and that is in person. Like I told you from the beginning, this is my living room. 9 years ago, I turned this living room into an art studio right after school and started making art here at my workstation and bringing it on the weekends to the streets, Saturday and Sunday, and selling. Now, because I create very colorful products and very colorful art and canvases and so on and so forth, I do get a lot of attention in the streets. I do. But if I had knew then what I know now, which is what I'm telling you right now, I would have probably 20,000 people on my email list. And that, I'm telling you, that alone would have been good. I could have been set. With 20,000 people on my email list, I'm telling you, artists, you could be set. And those people, you can build so much, the relationship can be so tight, and those people can trust you, and those people can continue to support you over and over and over. So I made that mistake. I didn't know about it, and nobody told me about it. I know about collecting email addresses, but I didn't know that there's a special services. And I heard MailChimp for so many years, but I didn't know that's actually what they do. I'm just an artist. I'm just in my own zone, just painting and just creating, just going out to sell, not building an actual system, business on top of my art. That was what killed me. If I have understood that business to me was just creating the art and going out to sell it, but not building the system on top of that art, which can help me even when I'm asleep. That system can help that business generate revenue. So I'm passing this down to you. If you are getting started, I don't care whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced artist, and you thinking about starting the business, or you already in business and you are not using email services. What I did was I create my art, I bring it out to the street, and in person, people stop by, they talk to you, they buy. Some don't buy, but they show so much interest. They love what you're doing. They like you personally. They love your work. They see you as the products, not even the material stuff that's sitting there. They see you as, this is the guy. Oh, I love this guy. I love what he's doing. And whatever he's doing, I want to support it. I want to be in his community. I want to join his bubble. I just want to be connected. And my focus back then was Instagram. Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. And that's a regret. For me, that's a regret. I wish I could have turned all those people into my email community. So this year, 2025, May of 2025, yes, May 2025, I finally finished doing my research and decided to go with ConvertKit. Like I said on my website, I had a pop-up before. So I have a bunch of emails, and I didn't know what to do with it. And my emails is way above that. So I'm qualified to, mine is paid. I cannot qualify to be the free. So I signed up for $600 or $500 a year. And this May, this 2025 May, I signed up and downloaded my email list from SquareUp and uploaded it on ConvertKit services. Then started. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. The power of email. The reason I'm pushing so hard, I'm so bullish. I am so bullish on emails, like the email list. So I collected these emails and uploaded them on my ConvertKit. And I was nervous. I was like, I've never broadcasted or blasted an email to customers before. I've never done that. But I've been collecting emails on my website automatically with a pop-up, which now I'm not a fan of. But back then I didn't even know why. I remember a customer service either from Shopify or Square was telling me, oh, let's build you a pop-up so you can collect emails. And I said, sure, do it. So they suggested it, and I said yes. And so that's how I was able to collect those email addresses. So it just happened to be there, luckily. And then so I uploaded it onto ConvertKit. And in that May, I decided to send my first email to these to my thousands of subscribers. And I said something like, I know it's been a long time. You probably don't remember me. You give me your email address, something like, I'm just paraphrasing. Say something along that line. So just let them know, it's been a long time, but I'm here. I'm still I'm still that artist that you wanted to support, that artist that's still creating from his living room studio, that artist that was broke and was frustrated after school and decided to turn his living room into a studio and painting and just a nice, beautiful short story. And I sent that email about 1 p.m. ish, and then went back to my workstation and then started painting. It just started working. About an hour and a half later, I pick up my phone and I was just checking for an email. Not specifically, I wasn't thinking anything from this email broadcast that I had just blasted to the email list. I was just checking my emails as usual. When I went and opened up my email, I just saw all orders from the website because of just single email that I sent. Orders of over $1,600 in less than 2 hours. I'm just standing right here, and this is the story that I'm telling you from here in my living room. This is where I create my work. I've never seen anything powerful. Of course, I've seen some powerful stuff when an influential person kind of shout you out or link you or tag you and stuff like that. Yes, that takes off, and I'm gonna tell you about that too. But this is just 9 years later of me knowing about email addresses. I didn't know the power of it. Like, what can you do with emails? Like, if you collect someone's email, what is that going to do? I didn't know that. This May of 2025, I learned my lesson. That order came in like zzz. Like I said, over $1,600 worth of orders. I said, oh my God, I am dying. What? And ever since that day, I have been sending emails every week. I've never missed since that time till now. We're in December now. Now we're in the it's end of November. I think December is coming in a few days. So we're in end of November. Sorry, end of November. From May all the way to November now, my entire focus on my creative art small business out of my living room has been emails. Instagram, I post whenever I feel like it, because I've worshipped Instagram the entire time I'm in business. These whole 9 years has been Instagram, and these wonders don't happen on Instagram. So if you are getting started, the best way for you to have customers and keep them, retain these customers, and continue telling them stories of your art, of your journey, and then they reading these things and they feel like they continue want to support you, and they put money in your pocket by just, whenever you send out an email, you have a link in there, they click on it and they support you. Even if they don't order, it's always a constant reminder that, hey, I'm still here. I'm still that artist that you gave your email to. So when that happened, I decided, oh, just a single email, this would happen. So now I'm going out to the street and I'm going to go all out collecting emails. This happened on Tuesday. I send my emails out on Tuesday. Every Tuesday my email goes out. Every Tuesday, no matter what. I don't bombard the community. I don't over email, and I don't do sales at 20 to 70% off, 40 to 75% off. I don't do that. It's just storytelling. I just storytell. I tell them about what's going on in the studio, behind the scenes. I will show a picture of me working, and then I tell a story. It's just short stories, a minute or two read of a short story to my email list community, and orders comes in. So I decided, all right, this weekend it happened. I sent that email out on Tuesday, and this one just happened. I said, oh, so Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna go out to the street And besides the fact that I go out always to just go sell, 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 this time it will be a combination of selling and collecting email addresses. That Saturday and Sunday, I ended up with over 75 emails. Over 75 emails, definitely close to 80. I must say it was close to 80 just that weekend. Why? Because I am outside. I have my art set up. People come over, people talk to me. Most of the people who stop and talk to me because they're interested in what I'm doing. They see something that they like. They see something that somebody they know might like and stuff like that. And they might not be in the market to buy at that time. But me just grabbing my phone and say, hey, would you like to join my mailing list? I send out stories about what I'm doing, the journey behind the scenes, and so on and so forth. 99% of the time, they always say yes, and I just hand them the phone. And then they put in their first name and email address. With ConvertKit, that's how the options are. First name, email address, first name and email address. It takes 30 seconds for that to happen. So as I was out there during that weekend, everybody that comes by, whether they bought or not, can I please have you on my list? Yes, 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 absolutely. Yes, 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 absolutely. And that week alone, close to 80 emails that I collected. And I said, oh my God, I did not know. It's been 9 years. Can you imagine? It's been 9 years of me selling outside in the streets, in New York City, in Harlem, on 125th Street, selling wearable art and canvases, everything. I sell. I just create and go out there and sell. Can you imagine if all I did for the past 9 years was just selling and collecting email addresses? So that's the power of email list. But the most powerful way of collecting emails is in person. And that's what I actually want to emphasize. What I really, really want to emphasize is that the most powerful way of collecting emails is actually in person. You can ask on a DM and you can ask with a pop-up on your website. If we actually trying to get, like we have a race and we're trying to get to that 100 emails, say one part of me is going for that website. The other part of me is going for that DM and that story link that I told you about. There's a link in this Instagram story where you can put that link in there. If they click, it will pop open that one page where they will put their first name and the email in there. And then the last part of me saying, we're going to take it to the streets in person. We're going to see who's going to get the first 100 email. I guarantee you, without a doubt, taking it to the streets will come home with 100 emails easy. So the easiest way for you to collect your first 100 emails is in person and in the streets. In person, however you're going to do it, whether you want to do, you want to create a pop-up and invite over 100 people, or invite 100 people to come over and then you collect their emails, or you want to go in the streets and in person and sell your stuff. And people that come by, because as soon as they come by, you know they're interested. They like what you're doing, they like what they see, and that right there. And it's a free traffic. Free traffic going in and out, going in and out. And they see they come by email. They see they come by email. They see they come by email. So ever since I started sending out email on that Tuesday in May, and that weekend that came, I went out to start collecting my emails. I have not stopped till now. What's today? Saturday. I went out there. I was outside selling collection of emails. I'm just collecting emails. People ask me if do you have an Instagram? I say yes, but I will collect the emails first And then they will give me before I would take their phone and put my IG link in there for them to follow me. Emails right now, I mean, my business, of course, is the most important, but email is, I would say, is probably the top 3 most important things in my business right now. If you want to get started in business, you want to turn your art into a product, you want to turn your art into a business, one of the best way to assure that you stay in business is to start collecting emails. To start collecting emails. And like I told you, this video is not sponsored by ConvertKit. I actually have issue with ConvertKit because they don't have customer service. I do not like that. I do not like that. Shout out to Shopify, shout out to SquareUp, because those guys, you can call them at any time. Square, nowadays, they close at 6 p.m. in New York time, like Eastern time. But they used to be up much longer. Shopify, when I was with Shopify, it was 24 hours. Anytime you need a Shopify rep on the phone, you give them a call, they will pick up and they will show you what to do. They will help you. They can do anything for you. And I'm not on Shopify. And this video is not sponsored by any of them. It's just me just giving you a guidance or giving you some kind of value if you are just getting started. Services that you can use to help you get your business going. Shopify answers their phone. They have a customer service. They can help you out. SquareUp, I use SquareUp because it was cheaper. I started with Shopify and then SquareUp came up with much cheaper a deal. So I went for that. And it was pretty much the same thing, the same service, but they needed more customers, so they dropped the price down to like 80%, whatever. So I jumped ship, went to SquareUp. Now their prices are up too, whatever. But what I love about it, they have customer service, especially we artists. We so in our zone. We just creating, we painting, we trying to sell. Because the chances of an artist become a struggling and a broke artist is it's very high. So we got to grind. We got to hustle. And sometimes when it comes to these tech stuff, it can be very complicated. So we need help here and there. But ConvertKit doesn't have any way for you to actually, especially if you're just a beginner and you cannot make a phone call. So setting up your ConvertKit for your email services can be a little tricky. So just make sure that you invest some time and sit down, and they have an AI system that you can talk back and forth and stuff like that. It's called SAM or whatever they call it. And do the best you can and sign up. If you don't have any email at all, you can still sign up and then slowly but surely get started with them. For you to succeed with collecting emails in person and outside in the streets, my recommendation to you is you're an artist. So be resourceful. You're an artist, so be an artist. Create something with your hand, or create something with hand related, right? Something that's more like a hand related creation. Because that's what's work in person, in the streets. When people stop by, they talk to you and they find out that you're an artist, you are the artist, and you actually physically create this stuff, or you hand paint, or it's half and half, you paint it and then you kind of like turn it into a digital print, or however it's done. Some way, somehow, you involved, like you have your hands, like it's hand related creation. That works. It works like magic. When people find out that this is you created this, like, yeah, you hand this, you hand that, like you handcrafted this, you hand created this, that work like magic. Always work. Especially in this day and age where AI. If you show up in the street with this, using this and using this, you're gonna always win. you're going to win and you're going to be able to stay in business. So if you want to take this approach, which I highly recommend, get your email list. If you're an artist, whether you're ready to start your business today or not, start collecting emails. Start selling your art. Turn your art into a product. Turn your art into a product. Productize your art and start selling it, and start collecting emails on top of selling your art. That's how you do it. If you do it that way, you will stay in business for a long time. And if a customer buy from you once, they will buy from you again, especially in the street. If they buy from you and they like your vibe, they like what you're doing, and they bought from you and you never lost them. In other words, they bought from you, you collected the email, you stay connected. So you never disconnect, you never lost them. If you continue to storytell once a week, storytell once a week, every once in a while you educate, you throw in some kind of education in there. By end of the email, you just let them know, if you know someone who is a creator, someone who is an artist, please send this, forward this email to them. That, like, these keys work. Every once in a while, so you storytell behind the scene what you're working on. If you're an artist, you will never run out of story. The only way you run out of story is because you are not painting enough, or you are not creating enough, or you are not going out there to sell enough. Every day that I go outside to sell, just having conversation with a customer, that's the story. So I take it upon myself to have more conversation with guests. Where are you visiting from? Are you from here in New York? Oh, no, I'm visiting from Sweden. I'm visiting from California. Oh, wow. I have these conversations. That's the story. And then, I'm not the best, grammarly, I'm not the best guy that I can sit here and write all this amazing stuff, but I'll write it to the best of my ability. And then I have a Grammarly, I have a, what's that, it's like the free Grammarly. It's an app that you can download on your computer, and they can help you, with your grammar and all this other stuff. So it's called Grammarly, and Grammarly will help me fix those, whatever it is that I wrote, the story, and I make sure the story is uniform. Of course, I want the story to be told like it's me speaking. So of course, I don't want it to be super polished. I also don't want it to be super street. So Grammarly kind of helped me, adjust and balance it out. And then that's it. And then I would send it out to the community. I tell those stories. What happened this week? What happened yesterday? What happened 3 days ago? And every once in a while, I have some ideas, like some watercolor painting ideas, or some Indian ink style, or some natural dyes, something that happened. I would put that together as well, and I would post it on coming Tuesday as my newsletter, and I would ask the guests if they know somebody who's creative, or even you yourself, if on your Saturday, Sunday, when you're off and you want to create something, give it a try yourself. So that builds more trust between me and that community. And it's not always sending emails expecting sales and expecting businesses to come back. I just do that to make sure that we stay connected, so they can always keep me in mind. When it's time for them to purchase, or when it's time for them to buy something, they would think of me. Oh, that guy. Oh, you know what? He's that artist. You know what? There's a birthday coming. There's a retirement coming. There's a this coming. You know what? If I get something from that artist, that would have been nice. That would have been dope for a gift. All right. So that's what it's for. And if it's for that, then it's long term, because then you stay in their mind for a long term. There's a trust there. There's connectivity. They're part of it's a community. It's a bubble, right? You're all in this bubble, and like you share this common understanding of art and creativity, it becomes like you all belong in the same tribe. It's like, yo, we're a tribe. You're a tribe. So you bring those people into your tribe. So as an artist, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, if you have any interest in business at all, then I will I highly recommend you start turning your art into a business, right? Get your hands involved. You can hand paint anything that you can hand paint. Just bring it outside, make it colorful, make it beautiful. And even making it colorful is not your style. If you just somebody who just like to just create just like a monochromatic type stuff but just make it more dramatic, then do that and bring it out. And that's you, that's what you represent. That product is you. You are that product. And then bring it out and start building some kind of traction. On top of that traction, start collecting your emails, because that's what's gonna help you in the long term. Social media, when I first started, when I posted on Instagram, I used to get mad likes and comments and so on. Nowadays, if I post, nothing happens. Like, I don't really get business from social media like that. I do get businesses from my website, organic search. I'm heavy on Google. Like, if you type my name on Google, the search, the images and everything, like of articles and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I have a lot of organic search in Google and a lot of organic recommendation, stumble upon type stuff, where people will just stumble upon my link or my photo of something of me, and they will click on it, and that will bring them to the website. If they see something that they like, purchase. So that happens. That happens. But my email is a sure thing. When I send out an email, I can send out an email and go to sleep. I know that some way, somehow, somebody will purchase something. So that's what I'm preaching to you. I'm telling you the power of email. Start with your first 100 emails. The power of my business is I go out in the streets to sell in person. Nothing works better than in person. Now I understood why all these luxury brands like the Gucci's and the Louis and even Nike, like Nike got stores, like everywhere you go downtown, you see Nike continue to open up shops. Now I understand. There's nothing beats in person. Like, in person is the best. Because when people walk into that store, and that store has some kind of vibration and that energy and that culture, and then even if you're not ready to purchase, you grab that shoe, you're looking at it, you grab that fabric, and you're looking at it. Right there, you can make a decision right there, and then you purchase something that you actually walked in as a window shopper. You wasn't ready to shop, but you ended up walking out with something in your hand. That is the power of in person. So at this point, like, I am heavy on in person. I was doing it, but I was doing it because at first I was doing it. It's fun. It's like I'm an artist. I'm out here. I'm just, but on some business tip, in person is very important. And the trust that comes with being in person is instinct. It just happened right there. Like, it happens right there, and it's for life, right? So, because they can remember. It's like you stay in their mind. Whenever you send out emails, one of the few tricks, if I send out an email, I will send out an email with me. The top, there's a square. If you sign up to ConvertKit, you would know what I'm talking about. You go with the basic, classic theme. That top square, I put a picture of me in the studio, a picture of me outside, a picture of me and the guests or customers, some way, somehow. And then underneath that, here comes the story. So I do that because it always reminds them, like, oh, that's that guy. And they can also tell somebody that story, like, oh, I went to New York, I met this guy in the street, he was selling, he's an artist, and I ended up buying, oh, this is what I bought, and then And then I give him my email address. Now look, he just sent me an email. Like those kind of stories, right? Those kind of stories. So if you can include a picture of you or your studio or some kind of way, if you start doing this, I highly recommend that you do this, right? Like I said, you can collect emails with your website. You can collect email with your social medias, but in person is the fastest, is the quickest to get to your first 100, and in person will continue to help you build on that 100 first emails that you collect and continue to grow emails faster. And make sure once a week, you could send as many as you want, but personally I do send once a week to have a conversation with my community and talk to them. Also, another trick that you can use if you do sign up with ConvertKit, I keep saying their name. They're not sponsoring this. They're not. But it's easier. It's pretty user friendly if you just getting started. That's why I'm just telling you to kind of like go out there and use it. If somebody give you a better recommendation, if you find somebody better that they actually have a customer service that they can guide you through their customer service with like your first 1,000 emails free, go for that. Go use that. Use that. But when you sending out your emails in ConvertKit, like the first or second page, when you get to there, there's a check box that you can check, two checks. One is that you send emails to your newsletter. You send like your newsletter to your subscribers. And the second is you also want it to be on the web, right? Like you want it to go on the web, which means public. I didn't know when I first started, so I never checked that because I didn't know what it means. I didn't know what that was, right? So slowly but surely, now that I know, I learned that right there, it means that I want my email to be public, right? So on Google, it helps out. On Google, it helps out a lot with the Google search and stuff like that. So if you do sign up with ConvertKit, make sure that you pay attention to that. When you hit continue and continue to send your email to broadcast your email to your community, right? There will be two check boxes, one at the top, one at the bottom. The top one is to your email list. The bottom one is for the public, for the website. So that way Google can kind of index that and put it out there. And slowly but surely, that can also become like your blog, like your blog. So people can stumble upon it and they can read it. If they read it, and of course, every email that you send out must come with a link of your website. So if it goes public and random persons stumble upon it on Google and read it, they can click that link, and that link will send them to your website, and that can lead to a purchase and a revenue for you. So that is also something that you can also like do. So that's another like trick, right? So the first trick is add your pictures on top of your emails when you're sending those emails out. Some picture of you related to you, or even if not, once in a while you can add you can throw somebody else's picture. A customer who supported you, a customer who like gave you a beautiful story, and then that story that you telling that day is related to that person. You can post their picture on top of that box in ConvertKit that I was telling you about, right? In ConvertKit, it's a square like this, and then underneath that you can put your stories down. So that right there, it's kind of like like the headlines or the breaking news type stuff. So you put that up there. So that can be. Usually I put my picture, and every once in a while, if I come across a guest with a special story, I will put their picture there. Or if a customer asks to take a picture with me, can we take a picture? And I just send me that picture. If we hit it off and it's just a beautiful story, I will post that picture of me and that customer. It's a social proof as well, and then I will tell those stories, right? So that is also a trick that you must incorporate in order for you to build that retention, because you want trust and retention between you and your community, which is your email community, right? And never forget that I'm talking about practicality, right? Practicality, handmade, or hand-related making, hand-related making. If you want to go in person, if you want to go in person outside and sell, handmade, hand-related always work. It works like magic. So people love the fact that you an artist and you outside, you in the street and you selling. They always connect. They always want to talk to you. They always don't mind giving you the email addresses. They love to see your behind the scene. They love to see your studio work and so on and so forth. And for me personally, that's how I've been able to stay in business. And by doing that, the reason I highly encourage you to do this, use the email approach to build a business on top of your art, and also to productize your art, is because it is a gateway for that guest to also ask you, what else do you make? They always ask. They always ask, what else do you make? Because now that they purchase a product from you, they purchase something. What it can be a print, it can be anything. It can be a sticker, whatever that you making. You can start with that. But if that person purchased something from you of any sort, the next thing they're gonna ask you is, what else do you make? What else do you have? Now that's where the canvas comes in for me. All right, that's when canvases and stuff comes in. Oh, I also have canvases. I have large scale canvases, this and that. All right, send me some stuff. Or not. Before they even say, I say, I'm gonna send you some stuff. So I copy the emails and send them a private email with stuff that I have available. And that can lead into a whole different conversation, which can end up in the purchase of your piece. Because that's what the canvas, that's for me, that's what the canvas is for. The canvas is for longevity. The canvas is a legacy. It's for long term. And then turn that canvas into a product, right? Into a repeatable product that I can make over and over and sell and generate more customers, or more lead, or more prospect, or more emails, and to grow that email. And as they get more and more interested in you, and they turn to like you more and more and more, they're gonna ask you for more stuff. What else do you have? And that's when I let them know I have a canvas. Or every once in a while, I would send an email telling a story of a canvas. I would make it about canvas, but mostly it's just behind the scene and my other products. So this is what I want you to kind of go after. Go get your first 100 emails and start from there. If you want to get it the fastest way, you do it in person, outside. At this moment, if you just have a bunch of ideas and you're sitting on it, you don't know how to go about it, I'm just going to tell you, the journey is imperfect. You cannot wait for things to be perfect before you go. So just look at things like, my philosophy is imperfect ideation, which is it's just free flow. You just free flow, you go. Let the customers decide. You don't decide. You make the things that you like and keep it for yourself. Other stuff, make it and bring it outside and let them decide. And they will let you know what they like, and you will learn what's working and what's not working. What's working becomes a repeatable product, and that goes to your website. What's not working, you can just swap that and try some other stuff. The streets allow you and gives you the opportunity to do that. So if you're an artist and you're kind of struggling, or if you're an artist and you broke and you want to turn your art into a revenue, you want to turn your art into an income, this is my gift to you. Go out there and go get your first email list, email address. Go get your first 100 people to give you their email. The only way that's going to happen is when you bring a beautiful art out, or you bring your creation. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You just got to create something and bring it out. You can't just show up outside and just say you're collecting able. That's not going to work. If you have something, that becomes a magnet. That becomes a magnet, and then it just pulls them in. They will come. People are curious. People are curious. It doesn't matter what streets you're on. Bring your stuff to your streets. People who are curious will step forward and then you collect their emails that way, and you build business around those people because they met you. And then you can also have your website with the pop-up. If you're not comfortable doing the pop-up, then you could just make it quiet, mute. Like, my email thing on my website is very mute. Like, if you scroll, you will see it and you click, and I don't do the pop-ups anymore. I'm in the street, I'm collecting. So that's pretty much what I would say. And get your business started. Start imperfect. Go get any product that you that you can get, and just express yourself on those products, and then bring it outside and start building on a weekend basis, slowly but surely. It's not about starting a business, it's about staying in business. Anybody can start a business, but staying in business is the game. And one of the game that I'm giving you right now to stay in business is using that email route. Like, going that email route will help you stay in business. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just keep it right here. Just check me out. I have some stuff down there in the comment section. Click on my website. Click on the link. Go to the website. Subscribe to my email list. Give me a follow on IG. All the links down there. Just click on it. Go check it out. And I see you another time. And let me know how it turned out. If you're gonna use that, if you tried the Instagram DM and the story that I told you about, if you try it, however it turned out, you can send me a DM or you can send me a message and let me know how that turned out. If you have a website and you're doing the pop-up, how did that go? Let me know. If you were able to also hit the streets and however that turned out, let me know. If not, if you need some kind of advice, send me a DM. I can also help with that as well. So I see you on the next one. Catch you. Salute. Peace.